Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Alright guys, so I decided to go ahead and roll with the Paladin. I'm leveling up with Holy Fire right now and Zeal. The build's pretty simple. You just put your points into Holy Fire. There was one or two levels where I didn't really have an option because of the skill rewards. So I put it into Resist Fire for the bonus to Holy Fire. Put 2 or 3 points into Zeal just because I don't want to get locked into the attack animation for too long. I don't really want to get it up to full 5 swings. 3 seems like more than enough right now. If you could even stay at 2 if you wanted. And here's me killing Andariel. Anytime you have fire damage, that's great. It makes Andariel nice and easy because of her weakness to fire. So pretty easy kill on her. I'm not playing solo self-found, just playing hardcore and trying to get through the game quicker. It's nice to kill the act bosses when you can solo because you get better loot off the quest reward kill than you do farming them. You can also quest bug. If you're not sure what that is, look it up. I don't. But anyways, let's take a look at the build here. So all I've got is a one-socketed scepter that I found in Tristram. I just put a chipped ruby in it. So this is my damage, level 12. It's pretty good for level 12. I think when I recorded this, I just had maybe 2 points in Zeal. So I got 1 point. So I got the double swing, just the 2 hits, the quick 1-2. If I stayed this build long enough, I might get Holy Shield. We'll see. I don't know if I'll need it before I switch. Got some gear from my previous playthrough that I had saved up. So I've got some decent leveling items right now, so I'm progressing quicker. I'm in Act 3 already, and I've only played for, I don't know, a couple hours on this character. This is my gear here. You see, after I recorded this, I switched over to the Isenheart's sword, just because of how fast the attack speed is, which is good for any of the Paladin elemental auras, because all your base damage is coming from that aura, so you really just need higher attack speed. If you've got extra weapon damage on top of that, that's good too, but between attack speed on these low level items and damage, you really want to focus on the attack speed. That's going to help you kill everything a little quicker. As I level up, I've got this really nice Paladin diadem that dropped for me on my druid. It's got +2 combat skills on it. I can't remember if I already hovered over it, or here it is. That one that I hovered over for just a second there. It's got +2 combat skills for Paladin, all resist, plus to life, and plus to energy, I believe. So once I get a little higher level, that'll be good. A tip if you're looking at gambling items, those are really good to gamble, those and coronets. They have a bonus to their eye level, so they can roll much better mods than other items of comparable level. I've got a couple Milgabras, or sorry, not diadem. The circlet up there, I forget what the name of that one is. But I've got a couple of the Milgabras set, which is the Paladin set. I don't know if I'll end up using it or not. We'll see what the bonuses are when I equip that in the weapon. I don't really remember off the top of my head. And so let's take a look here at some of the of your leveling options between the 3 different auras. Alright, so here we're just going to compare your 3 main leveling options for the Paladin class. You could play through the game entirely with some of these builds. You'll run into some problems with immunes. There's a very strong build the Paladin, which you need pretty high level gear to make work with Holy Shock, but it's one of the best end game builds for killing Ubers, Uber Tristram. So they are end game viable skills. You just need the gear for it. But anyways, looking at these here, we have Holy Fire, Holy Freeze, and Holy Shock on the top row. This is the when I say minimum damage, it's the damage each skill will do at level 20 without any points into the synergies. And you can see here that Holy Fire kind of loses out a little bit to Holy Freeze and also to Holy Shock. Holy Freeze has the added benefit of slowing your enemies significantly, so it's a passive defensive boost as well. And being able to shatter enemies also helps you in a way because they cannot be revived or resurrected by enemy shamans or unravelers, etc. So that's also an added bonus. Holy Shock will just give you the highest possible maximum damage, but you also have the widest range. So it's just a little interesting in that way that it's hard to really say what your average damage will be. Most likely it will be higher than the others, but you know, it's all lightning damage in this game is always 1 to whatever, or you know, for a very small number to a very high number. And in the bottom we have the maximum damage, and this was with each skill. I believe I did it with level 20 resist, you know, fire, cold, lightning, and level 20 salvation. So the maximum possible damage that each of these skills could do. So when you're looking at them, you might think to yourself, well, clearly Holy Fire is not worth getting. It comes down to either Holy Freeze or Holy Shock. And in one way, you would be correct in assuming that, and in another way, you would be incorrect. So let's just look at this next slide here. And what this is on the top, I have the lowest possible level you could get the skill to level 20 to achieve that highest possible minimum damage with the skill. And on the bottom row here, I have the lowest possible level you could achieve getting the skill to level 20, as well as the main resist synergy to level 20. So Holy Fire and Resist Fire both to level 20, Resist Cold and Holy Freeze both to level 20, etc. So as you can see here, Holy Fire is hands down the winner when it comes to the early game, because you don't even have access to those other skills until you are either level 18 or 24, whereas Holy Fire you can get at level 6. So also a nice bonus with fire damage is just Andariel has a 50% negative fire resist, so anytime you have fire damage early in the game, you can kill Andariel very easily. So even if you go Holy Fire all the way into Act 1 Nightmare and kill Andariel with it, it might be easier with Holy Fire versus any, you know, Holy Freeze or Holy Shock, depending on your level and your build. But as you can see, once you start getting closer to level 40, that's when Holy Fire really starts to fall off. And at that point, you would be much better off transitioning into either Holy Freeze or Holy Shock, kind of depending on whether you want to do more damage or whether you want the added defensive bonus of the slow. Especially in hardcore, both are good options. The thing that kind of tilts me towards leaning with Holy Shock, however, is just that there is a specific rune word for Holy Shock, which is very easy to get. It's just Eth Ral Ort Tal, and if you remember, you get Ral Ort Tal from the Siege of Haragoth quest in Act 5, and Eth is a very low rune. You could get it off of a couple Countess runs, probably in, 15 to 30 minutes of farming. If you'll also probably drop them on your play throughout the game. So you can get this rune word very easily. It's pretty solid for how early you can get it. You could make this and equip it at level 23, depending on what item you socket it into. And if you have access to a 4-socketed scepter, which it should work the same with any item that drops from cows. If you turn it into Larzuk, you could get a 4-socket with your Larzuk reward, as long as it's a white base item. So that's always an option if you want to do that. You could also just wait until a little later in Nightmare and hopefully either get one off the shop or drop one off a monster. That's up to you. Also, Holy Freeze, just with the defensive bonus, is really good. The other thing why I kind of lean away from Holy Freeze is the Act 2 Nightmare Mercenary has Holy Freeze, so you could have Holy Shock and Holy Freeze in your, between yourself and your Mercenary, so it's almost a little unnecessary to get Holy Freeze if you just want it for the slow, because any character can get that from the Act 2 Mercenary. And so most likely what I will do is, either as I get closer to the late 30s, early 40s, I'll either transition into a Holy Shock build to play through the rest of Nightmare, or I'll just go right into the Hammerdin build. Just kind of depends on how things go through normal. If I can get a decent shield base to turn into a 4-socket shield through the Larzuk reward and make a Spirit Sword and Spirit Shield. I've already got a 4-socketed broadsword from my Windy Druid that I ripped on at level 62. So I've already got that 4-socketed sword, so if I could get the 4-socketed shield, I could have really high cast rates and +4 skills between the sword and the shield. And you can get a 4-socketed shield early with the Paladin, just from this class-specific shields that he has access to. He's the only character that can do it. So it's very tempting. The only thing I'm not sure about is how easy some of the areas will be to play through as a Hammerdin. I've not really leveled as a Hammerdin. I don't even think I ever made a Hammerdin when I was younger. I pretty much just played barbarians all the time, with the occasional druid or necromancer or sorceress. So I played a lot of zealodins or zealots builds, and made some chargers and stuff for PvP, but I don't think I ever actually made a Hammerdin. So that's one reason why I'm gonna do that now. Is just the reason I never did before was because it was OP and it kind of irritated me because everyone did it. But now that I'm trying to get through hardcore, I guess if you can't beat them, then you might as well join them. And since I've not actually made one before, it's a new experience for me. So that's gonna add to my enjoyment of the game. So, all right, here's some clips just playing. I decided to play. Not solo self-found anymore, just so I can progress quicker. So I started grouping up, just having some fun with the 8 players in the chat. Getting to chat with people, it's great. It takes me back to the 90s. Nowadays, a lot of times when you're playing a game, you don't really have that anymore. So it's kind of cool to just shoot the crap with random strangers. But anyways, here's a couple clips of just killing Bale. And thanks for listening, and thanks for watching, and remember to give them the D.
Bye.
I shall honor Tal Rasha's sacrifice by destroying all the prime evils.
I thank